Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Carrie and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I decided that I was going to make Toll House bars, which are my grandma's recipe, which my sister made vegan a little bit ago. And so I'll link that video down below. And while I did it, I thought I would sort of steal the idea from Abby over at Autumn of Pelennor and make them and talk about books. So let me stick this in the microwave. So, like I said, making my, well, she was my great-grandmother's recipe, and they are absolutely delicious. However, I have improved on them and I put Cadbury in them. My mother doesn't think that Cadbury improves the taste, but everybody else does, so as much as I love my mother, clearly she's wrong. Anyway, let's see if I can do numbers and books at the same time. We all know numbers are not my thing. So, appropriately, I am going to talk about food in books and why... Oh! Well, that's awkward. I definitely just broke their mixing cup. Yeah, I'll tell them that when they get home and they can have mine. Whoops. Anyway, so food in mixing in books. I absolutely adore it, particularly when there's a lot of food references and there are no way the dogs are coming in right now because they'll freak out. One of the books that is particularly memorable to me as far as, need to be more in there, as far as food is Crazy Rich Asians. Actually, I adore the food in that book. Not necessarily the book itself. I want to say I read it sometime last year, so you can go and check that out. I'll find it and link it down below because God knows nobody really has time to find that mess there. Ooh, I have to use my other cousins. Right. Aha! I triumph because there are other measuring cups in the house. I have some, I just don't know where they are. Like I said, I'll buy them a new set. Anyway. So, cup of butter, which I have here, cup of brown sugar, half a cup of white sugar, here you are. And the reason I liked Crazy Rich Asians food so much was that it was so descriptive and it sounded like it tasted absolutely amazing. Whether it did or not, I don't actually know because obviously I haven't had it. But in Crazy Rich Asians, anyway, it is South/East Asian food, and because they're in Singapore, and oh my god, it sounds amazing. I need a spatula at some point. So that was why I liked it. That was probably the predominant reason I liked that book. I really liked all of the subplots as well. I thought that was really fun. I haven't finished the series yet. I would like to. That's one of those things that it'll happen when it happens, because if you're new here, hi, my name is Carrie, I'm obsessed with Elizabeth I, and I'm not really big on contemporary stuff. If you are not new here, you know all of that. And, oh, please don't fall. So, that's fun, but I do want to finish it. I've heard that the rest of the series isn't as good. Ooh, God. These are farm eggs because one of my other cousins does chickens. So the cousin I live with buys eggs from them, which makes perfect sense. Also, pardon while I go let Melody in. This is not for you. So let's see, make sure I don't have any chips in there. Okay, we're good. I avoided the fiasco of, oh, and now River wants them. So, as I was saying, Crazy Rich Asians, really, really good book, particularly for the food. The movie was pretty good too, I have to say. It had to cut out a lot of the subplots, but still really good. One of the other memorable food mentions was in Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. It just came out shortly after I went to Leeds for a friend's wedding over there. And so went to my friend's wedding and they had jollof rice as their main dish at the reception. I'd never had it, I'd never had goat before, had both. It was fantastic. And then we had sticky toffee pudding, which is my absolute favorite. I'm looking for a cutting board, absolute favorite. And then, I mean, I'd never heard of it before. This is a bread knife, not helpful. Let me just take a minute and braid my hair because this is getting irritating. You know what I should also do? I should also preheat the oven. That would be a smart thing to do. Oh, but then I have to figure out whether I want convection or conventional, and I've never used convection. I'll probably go with conventional because convection scares me. I know it's great for baking things, but yee, when you've never done it and you are not a baker or a cook or really anything of that sort, it's a little bit daunting. And this is also a very messy braid, but it's going to do. So, some water on that and make that stay. Also, it started getting hot, so I took off my hoodie, which is where my sister went to school, GCU, Arizona. Anyway, what was I doing? Right, 375. Well, there you go. All right, it's preheating, I think. Yep, preheating. Excellent. They got a fancy oven with a lot of buttons. All right, chopping up the candy now. Right, children of blood, comment if you get that reference. So, yes, went to the wedding. It was a lovely wedding. I adored seeing them, and I got to see Leeds and York, because I stayed with another friend there for a couple of days, and it is a beautiful city, both of them. The Armory Museum in Leeds is fantastic. Oh my gosh, I think that's one of my top favorite museums. So anyway, museum, jollof rice, sticky toffee pudding, and then I came home and Children of Blood and Bone came out, I want to say that March, it was 2018, so it would have been about a month after the wedding, and things are making funny noises now. So, came home, started reading Children of Blood and Bone, not immediately after, obviously, and then there was the mention of jollof rice. Within the first page, if I am not wrong. It was so exciting because I had never had it before, and all of a sudden there it was everywhere. And there's some fancy scientific two-name combination for it that I knew once and then lost, and I don't really care enough to go look it up again. But basically, once you see something, it comes up everywhere again and again and again, because that's just how humans work. Normally I smash this with a meat knife, but my 2-year-old cousin is taking a nap right now. She may or may not join us, we will find out. So I'm trying not to wake her up. Obviously the snapping of the knife is a little bit hard to control, but I am doing my best, guys, because nobody wants to wake up a cranky 2-year-old. It's not a great thing. Anyway, so where was I? Right, jollof rice. I keep getting sidetracked. This is what happens when I multitask with things that require more attention than I am used to while filming. But anyway, so we've got Crazy Rich Asians, we've got Children of Blood and Bone. I did enjoy that one. One I just read, so you'll see more about it in my wrap up, but it's The Tortoise, the Tower, and the Zoo, or some variation of those three. I can't remember it, but it is a quirky British sort of historical fiction. I mean, it's set in 2012, 2013, so it's not strictly historical fiction. And for me, it's not historical fiction at all. I'm putting the knife in the dishwasher so that my cousin does not grab it if she does choose to join us. And, alright, we've now got the chocolate, so we can put in the flour. So long as I don't just send this flying everywhere. because with my look, I totally would. Right, the tortoise, the tower, there we go, and the zoo. Totally bent that nail, oh well. And this one is about a beefeater, or a yeoman warder, as they are formally called, at the Tower of London. He and his wife live there, as yeoman warders do, and he is told that the Queen, essentially the royal family, want to bring back, ship going through the canal, that they want to bring back the royal menagerie in the tower. Yeoman warders. And his wife works at the London Underground Office of Lost Property, which is quite the title, I have to say. And then we'll do the teaspoon. Oh, we have to do a little bit of vanilla. I do not measure my vanilla because that would be entirely too logical. We have lemon extract, apparently. Go figure. This is good Mexican vanilla. My dad buys some every time he goes to Playa on vacation. And, oops, when I moved north, he bought me some. Anyway, so I really do. I keep getting sidetracked. This is not great. Baking soda, baking powder is in the weird container. So, teaspoon of baking soda. Right. She works in the London Underground Office of Lost Property, and it's really quite fun because she has a coworker there by the name of Valerie, and they eat together, and so throughout the course of the book, you see them sort of change their eating habits and what changes their eating habits. That's about a half. And what their favorites are. So there's talk of slices of apple when at some point they change their eating habits. And I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's H-E-B-E and it is Greek. That much I do know because they very specifically mentioned that she is of Greek descent. So, however you pronounce that, Mrs. Jones is not thrilled with the whole eating of slices of apple for a snack, but they have tea every afternoon and they go out for lunch, and a couple of times she'll pop out to the shop down the street just to, you know, get something that isn't slices of apple. Because, don't get me wrong, I like apples. Ooh, we lost some chocolate. It's alright, we'll just put it in. The counter is clean, I promise. Although, to be fair, I'm just feeding this to extended family. And by extended, I mean my cousin and her family. So, doesn't really matter. Anyway, I thought that was really fun. I liked the way that the story used food to include, or to show different aspects of people's characters, and just to show sort of the motion of time. There was also a tortoise in there, and the ravens featured prominently. We did not eat tortoise or ravens. Nobody panic. But it was really fun. So that's book number 3. Oh, let's see. What are some other books that are really good on food? I know there are some, I just can't remember. Ooh, the Mandy books were really fun. There's a couple, I think it's the one where she goes to Washington in 1900. Yeah, 1900, because she goes for McKinley's inauguration. Fun fact, one of the Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, 4 US presidents who have been properly assassinated and not just shot at. Oh, Kennedy. Ooh, that one I should know. Yeah, 4 presidents who have ever been assassinated. So, anyway, she goes, look at that, it looks wonderful, and let's be honest, probably tastes about as good, so. Delicious. Yeah, so Mandy is from the South, not the deep South, she's just from the North Carolina, and this means that for whatever reason, she enjoys grits. Now, this is not to say that people cannot like grits, I just don't understand them. Disclaimer, never had them. Proper or not, I've never had them because I'm not big on oatmeal and that's what it sounds like, so I don't know why I would put myself in that situation. But she is from the South, so she eats a lot of grits, and when she goes to the White House, these are historical fiction, not real, so obviously maybe not so obviously. I have no idea if people actually go to the White House when they're invited to stay. I don't know. But she goes to the White House and stays there. And while she's there, the president, knowing she's from North Carolina, specifically instructs his cook to make her grits, you know, as a welcome to Washington, here's a taste of home kind of thing, right? I know, River. So she has grits, and she and her friends, because she was able to take a couple of friends with her, have grits. But as she points out, they're not proper grits, because, I mean, McKinley's Northern, the last time I checked, which was when I read this series, because I don't know much about McKinley. I do know that the highest mountain in Alaska is named after him, Mount McKinley. If it's not the highest, please correct me, because I could be wrong, and I'm not going to look it up right now because I don't care that much. But, point being, McKinley is not Southern, and so he didn't know, and neither did the cook, and so she got really, I think they were really watery grits, and it was just really fun, because she's like, yeah, this is very sweet of you, but these are not grits. I mean, she didn't tell him that, because you don't tell the president or his personal chef that they're not cooking something correctly. I mean, you could and you can, you're not going to get in trouble for it, but it feels a little bit rude when he's invited you to his inauguration. Point being, that was also a really fun book. Series, really, about food, especially because she goes to Europe with her grandmother. Her family is very well off. So she tries all these different foods. They go to Italy, France, the UK. I don't know if they go to Germany. Although it would have been properly Germany then, so that's exciting. Alright, so that's it. Now all I have to do is wait for it to finish preheating, which shouldn't take long, stick it in the oven, and then cut it when it comes out, and obviously clean all of this up. We have a dishwasher. So, wow, that's empty. Yes, that was really fun because it was just a bit of a cultural difference more than anything. The problem with talking about food in books is that there's really not that many, specifically not that I've read, that talk about food in a way that makes me really desperately want to eat it. Crazy Rich Asians was 100% one of the few that I read it and went, oh, this sounds so good. What was it, satay? Satay? Oh, my pronunciation is awful. I asked one of my friends who's had it and who is definitely a foodie how you pronounced it, but I don't remember what she said. That's problem number one. I suppose we can do this load. I don't use very many dishes for this. All right. Anyway, so yeah, but that just sounds fantastic, and I've never had it because particularly the last couple of years I've lived in very white places where it's exciting to get good Mexican food, let alone Southeast Asian food. Oh, we just need a normal wash. Okay, and now you can watch me having difficulties with, there we go. That's why it takes so long. All right, I think I've got it in. And that is preheated, so we're gonna put that in. Alrighty, and then we set a timer for 9 minutes. Right, like I was saying, it's very difficult to find books that actually make you want to eat the food. I think a lot of authors focus rightly on the plot and the characters rather than the food they're eating. Ooh, recent book though, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. One of my favorite parts, and by the time this video goes up, I will have done the spoilery review for that, so you'll see that before this one. But that one also, it's not necessarily that it made me want to eat all the food, but I really liked how the food was used to convey affection and apologies in their little domestic scenes. I just really enjoyed that. Mostly, I think books just use food as a time marker rather than something that really does anything, which is why it's very exciting to me when I find books and can remember them that deal with food in a more immersive way. That said, I will show you what the bars look like when they come out. I know they will be delicious because I have made them many times before and people really like them. But at least for now, those are the books I can remember that talk about food and that I really liked. If I think of any more, I'll let you guys know. Probably do another video. Maybe I'll make sticky toffee pudding next time. But for now, until these come out, see you later. Okie dokie, so it's been 17 minutes. I put these in for 9, flipped them, put them in for 8, and here we are. They still look light on top, but I have had the experience several times before where I put them in for another minute or two, and then they end up just hard. And personally, I like my cookies or bars a little bit softer rather than harder. So here's the final product. It looks delicious, and I am so excited to have these. It's been a while. I don't make them for myself often because I don't feel good about eating an entire pan when I was living on my own. I'll probably start making them more often now because I'm living with 5 other people and all of them love bars, as well as the occasional grandparent drive-by kind of a thing, which means, well, no, they can come in now, can't they? They can. Minnesota's shelter-in-place is over as of May 18th, and it's, by the way, the 23rd today. But anyway, so these are our dessert tonight. I'm glad it went well. What in God's name? I think the bread's just falling over there, and I'm not really sure if that's what's been making the funny noises the whole time or what. But anyway, barring the bread disasters, oh, Les Mis is a fun one. Not that it mentions food, with the exception of the fact that he stole a loaf of bread, but, you know, bread falling, 19 years for bread. Anyway, these are dessert for tonight. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have read any other books or want to read any other books that have to do with food in a more in-depth way, because I am fascinated and definitely interested. But until my next video, bye. And just because it's fun and everybody likes sleeping puppies, there's Melody. Oh, River, say hi. She's not sure at all what I'm doing, but this is her usual place. She just lays down on the couch. Oh, so yeah, there's the sleeping puppies. Technically only Melody's a puppy. She's about a year. River is, I think we think she's 6 to 7. She was a rescue.